Hello everyone on this beautiful rainy day and welcome back to the manga review segment on this channel. After 5 months, I know I said I will be uploading it bi-weekly. Yeah, that lasted for long. To be fair, it was because I lost one of the older recordings and it upset me so much that I stopped doing them. And in my defense, there was a lot going on, like other things beside manga, so yeah, it just kinda went away. Anyway, back to the topic. Because there was such a long time between the last episode and this one, I had quite a lot of time to read when I was bored at school, or at work, or at way to school, or okay, you get the idea. I have read a lot. And I have some recommendations for you. And some stories I didn't like that much, so I can potentially warn you to stay away from. Or you will like them, because why not? As always, it's a matter of taste, so what I hate you may like, and vice versa. But today I bring you something that I personally have in my top 10 BL manga I've read so far. Maybe even top 5. And it's Tonari no Metal Sound, aka Metalhead Next Door. I don't have it physically because I couldn't find it anywhere on the internet to buy. Not even Book Depository had them. Rest in peace, Book Depository. You will be missed. Which is going to be an issue because I tend to like playing with the book when I'm doing these recordings, and now I have nothing to play with. But I digress, I will have to figure it out somehow. It's an incredibly sweet story with some angst sprinkled into it. Like, I have no trouble admitting I cried in the last 2 chapters. And if you are an introvert with social anxiety like myself, I can almost guarantee you that you will like this one. The art style is also absolutely stunning, so it's a treat for eyes too. Like, look at this. It's so beautiful. So, without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? So, this is a story of a uni student Kento who, as most of uni students, is broke and can't afford to live in the dorms anymore because of the raised fee. So he moves into a cheaper flat where is no heating, the stove isn't working, the bath isn't working, but it's cheap. Hey, he thinks he can make it work, but he manages to almost freeze to death very shortly after moving in because there's a snowstorm and he forgot his keys, so he's just sitting in front of his apartment or his flat and freezing because he can't get in. Surprisingly, he's saved by his neighbor Soshi, who looks scary at first, like dressed in all black and has long dark hair that usually cover his face. But he's actually just a big misunderstood softie who just loves metal, which is something I can identify with because I also love metal. So he takes Kento in, makes him a meal to warm him up, and it later becomes their thing, like eating meals together. Soshi actually really reminds me of Tenma, like design-wise. Those of you who read Haikyuu know who I'm talking about. Those of you who didn't will have to wait. Hopefully we will see him animated at some point. What sets him apart from the usual like brooding types you would expect him to be on the first glance is that he's almost physically unable to speak loudly. Like the most he can do is usually just a whisper, and that's a success when he manages that. Which makes it even sweeter later on when Kento actually learns to listen to him, despite the fact that he almost never talks louder than said whisper. And because it's BL, of course Kento starts to catch feelings which I 100% understand, because if someone like Soshi was living next to me, I would probably fall too. In case you didn't know, I like guys with longer hair. And if they're metalheads, then that's just points added to it. But because Soshi is such a skittish, scaredy cat, he's afraid that if he told him what he feels, he would ruin the friendship they have and would have to give up on the meals together. So he keeps quiet about it, as you usually do in BLs. Which leads us to our favorite part, which is pining and angst. We love that, don't we? Don't even try to lie. I know my statistics on the channel. But no worries, everything ends well, even though it doesn't look like it at certain points. With Gento is just BL protagonist, let's be honest. And the fact that it ends well is also because of one addition I really love in this story, which is a child, a little girl from Kento's friend's daycare. Like, that little girl is a freaking boss, and the way she just roasts Kento for what he's doing is so hilarious. I mean, who wouldn't want a preschool kid to be their relationship advisor and therapist? It's so funny, and I love her, she's a queen. I don't usually like kids in anything, pretty much, unless the story is about a single parent. But goddamn, this girl is a queen. Overall, I love this kind of stories, and for me personally, the character of Soshi makes it so much better, because the contrast of the metal lover, which you usually connect with like very loud individuals, be it a stereotype or no, and the contrast between that and the fact that he barely speaks up is what drives his character to be so good, and I love it. And I don't think I've seen it anywhere else yet, like done something like this. Obviously, like contrasts in characters are normal thing, but done in this way, it's very unique and I love it. Plus, he and Kento are absolutely adorable. Even before they like get together, they are so cute together. And as I said, I love the way Kento learns to listen to Soshi, despite like the fact that he barely speaks. Like, the relationship is one of my all-time favorites in all the mangas I've read so far. Like, you can argue that it's made to be overly sweet, like without any troubles, let's say. But like, there are inner struggles in both Soshi and Kento, so I wouldn't say that it's made to be this perfect portrayal of gay relationship, as some people are calling like Heartstopper and stuff like that. So it's just an enjoyable little story. And you can also learn something about metal and metalhead culture, which is also a plus, because they go on a concert together and it's super funny. So my rating for this one is easily 10 out of 10. I can't find a single thing, single moment that would make me say, okay, yeah, I don't like this, or I would do this differently if I was the author. Nope, nothing, absolutely nothing. 10 out of 10, maybe even 11 out of 10. It's just a short, sweet little story of a introverted black cat and his golden retriever neighbor who fall in love eventually. So what else is there to wish for, honestly? So that's going to be end for today. Thank you for tuning in on this review, even though it's been such a long time since the last one. I will try to start doing them a bit more often, while I have time and while I have something to talk about. And also, Christmas is approaching, so who knows, maybe I will give you some tips to what buy to yourself for Christmas. Because let's be honest, we all deserve a treat. It's been a difficult year. No matter what, it was a difficult year and we deserve to be treated. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one, be it a review or a text video. Take care and read BL. Bye.